Jimbo Jones. Oh, I'm looking for me. There I am. Get this chat set up. All comments. All right, ready to roll. Oops. Is there anybody out there? Ooh, I got a thumbs up. Yay! Okay, I can quit now. 4 people. Jesus. Okay, guess I don't need this. Clint, what's going on? OC, how you doing today? Seen your nice little pocket knife collection there you posted. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Greg Vanderlip, what's going on, brother? Mick Ranger, what's up? I want to be a park ranger and live a life of danger. I got to remember the rest of that song. First of all, I got to remember who sang it. Like an old 70s folk song type of thing, comedy folk song. I think the guy that sang it was even at the original Woodstock, if I remember correctly. And like always, gentlemen, ladies, we'll be on for an hour unless something occurs, which probably not at this point unless I get something over the net. I'm monitoring several things right now. A lot of pain and got 2 inroads and just not well mentally today. Yeah, me neither, brother, but I feel for you. I do. So just hitting the like button and say, okay, Greg, you take care, rest your neck. Wish there was something I could do, but I've done all the pills. They don't work. Trust me, I got a whole fucking drawer full of mental pills. Actually, the only thing that worked was going and talking to somebody for about 5 years. Although mine was defined. I had a defined issue to where I was, that was your fault. Come on, get in there. Go lay down for a while. Sorry, guys, I didn't let a dog in. As usual. Okay. Jesus, what the hell? Oh, it's a school bus. We got some high winds going on right now. And I just heard that big roar, and I'm like, what the hell? I mean, we had a little breeze this morning, but why is my internet not working? That must be her phone. Oh, well. What we got going on here? Okay, that's what Greg said. Take care, Greg. Yes, please take care, Greg. And as far as pain goes, I don't even care anymore. It used to be where it would hurt. I mean, it does, but when I would hurt, I would just, I don't know. I would just be angry all the time. No matter what. And so I was living a dog pound, I reckon. But once I got off the pain meds, I just dealt with it and decided that's the way it's going to be. So for 5 years now, I just wake up every morning. It takes me about an hour to stretch everything out and get motivated and all that good stuff. But yeah, I just deal with it. With it. There's so many of them. So and now my right eye is leaving me. I don't know why. I got to call the eye doctor and figure out what the hell that shit's all about. The left eye went 2-3 years ago. I was just watching TV and all of a sudden I got this flash, like a neon type of light and then it turned into a black cloud. And
Tree fell
where?
off the road.
Yeah, that's okay.
Fire trucks are out there and everything.
Okay, well, we got trees down, fire trucks. Barb's on her way to go videotape. And of course, my dogs are going to have a fit because there's fire trucks. Yeah, you get used to it after a while. I mean, it sucks, but hold on a second, guys. Dudes, I'm not doing this. Lay it down now. Go. Go. Serious. I ain't playing. They're just all excited over the trucks and Barb running out there because once they get, I don't care who you are, me, her, the kids, once you get halfway past the driveway, apparently they're nearsighted and they don't know who you are anymore and they start flipping out. And the bad part about it is they're not even going to bite nobody. Once you walk up on them, they're just beagles, wagging their tail, looking all over you. I don't get it.
Too cold staying there.
Huh?
Too cold to stand out there.
Yeah, cold front's coming back in. That's what's causing all this crap. Oh, it didn't hit the house they were building?
No.
Oh, bummer. Pine tree.
I knew that one was going to go.
Good. Maybe I'll some firewood after they leave.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you want to put the gate up when you go out there?
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, where was I? Oh, pain. All right, let's move on. My dogs do not like any type of bikes. I had a beagle. We didn't know this. The beagle I had before this, Hunter. We were still up north and we lived on the avenue, the main avenue. And it was 5 o'clock rush hour. We're outside. We had a fence that went around the house. It was one of them white picket fence with the rose trellis that you walk through. Pretty nice setup, really. But we were out in the side yard messing with some flowers in the garden. He's sitting there with us. You know, he's never done anything to make us think that he would take off after anything or anyone. Here comes the guy on the far side of the road heading west. We're facing east. And he just takes off running. No bark, nothing. Ran right out in the middle of traffic, over to the other side of the road, and started chasing this guy down the road. And of course, the guy started going faster, and we're telling him, stop, he won't bite you. We don't know what he's doing. But by the time she wiggled her butt through traffic, and she scooped him up about a block later. And after that, yeah, you're going on a leash, buddy. We have no idea what, and he never did it again. Just that one bicycle with this guy on it. And it wasn't a kid. It was probably a mid-20s. And it's not somebody we knew or ever been around the house to like piss the dog off or anything. So who knows? All right, let's get to business. What we got? Yeah, usual crowd. Oh, no, we got sirens. Your dog's barking almost everything. Yeah. Yeah. The older dog, Peach. Now, she'll talk to other dogs. There'll be a dog 5 blocks away barking at something, and she'll start barking, but not actually like a, constant. It'll be more like a roof, 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 like she's talking. That's weird. Really weird. Animals are crazy. Cats are included. Our cat used to talk. I used to sit here in the dining room. I had this is where we used to have the old desktop and everything set up on a computer stand and everything. And she'd come to the door. And her exact words were when she got the door, I want out. I want out. That's exactly what she would do. And she did it all on her own. Nobody ever taught her anything. It's just, and she had several other, like food. She'd always do the hungry thing. Hungry, hungry. I don't know where she got it, but animals are weird. All right, let's get on with this. Some of this might be repetitive to y'all. We got a lot going on. We are sending another strike group. I'm going to find my page again. Is George H. Bush or George the other Bush. Anyway, there's another strike group going. And we have the USS Tripoli, which is a Marine ship carrying all the Marines, where we have boots on the ground. And the Army's also going because they've activated the Louisiana or Mississippi National Guard. I didn't get their MOS or what their job title was when I saw it on the local news, but they're activated and going to training to head over there. Now I got a funny coming up because China, as we talked about before, everybody in Intel community, everybody that has any sense about geopolitics has all said the same thing. Trump took the oil from China when we took Venezuela. And now that we've got the war in the Middle East and the Iranians have pretty much closed off the Strait of Hormuz, that's the other third. So 2/3 of the oil going to China has been cut off. And yes, they've already had problems. They're already rationing and all kinds of weird stuff over there. Trump yesterday, or it was maybe the day before, but it called China and said, hey, if you want your oil, why don't you send some ships over? Take care of opening the strait open. So I'm sure that Tripoli, triple, double, pissed off China bad. Because they're already pissed because we took their oil. They're stopping the oil from getting to them, actually. Because all the oil from Venezuela is being routed right to the Gulf. I haven't heard any word of us selling it to anybody. Now, with this oil, a lot of people don't understand oils. I didn't know there was a difference either until this happened, even though I came from oil country. There's a heavy crude and then shell crude. What we have here in the States is shell crude. Heavy crude is a different entity. We have one refinery, and from what I heard, it's in Texas. Probably the one that was on fire. By the way, one of our oil refiners caught on fire in Texas. Now, they didn't come right out and say it was terrorist performed or anything like that. They held it back, and then I haven't heard anything about it, so I don't know what happened. Sort of like that other fire in Texas we never heard nothing about. But anyway, back to the crude. We had one refinery that could produce heavy crude into gasolines and kerosenes and whatever. And and then the island. Yeah, McRanger. We're getting into that because that's where the Marines are going. We are going to set up on that island, and that'll be the staging point for the land invasion. So, yeah, we're going to take that. So that means, again, we will be holding oil back from China. Now, here a week ago, back to China, China has Taiwan surrounded. I heard a report of 10,000 ships, but I'm going to say more like 1,100 are surrounding Taiwan right now. Aircraft the other day went into the thousands that entered their recognition space to where you either have to state your mission or turn around and go home line. And they didn't respond. They just did whatever the hell they wanted to, which is a warning to us, not so much to Taiwan, even though it's about Taiwan. So it's just going to be a matter of time with China. I don't know how they're going to respond. Whether it'll just they start sending their ships to the Middle East, start fighting us there, or they just start sending missiles over here. I don't know. Everybody's crossing their fingers and got the ear to the wall right now, waiting for any word at all from China. And then, like we talked about before, the military don't like the president don't like the military. They got a squabble going on in China. And who knows at this point? Yeah, 90% of Iran's oil comes from that island. Yeah. Well, it's where they store it. It's got a tank farm. That's where the ships pull in. All the oil produced in Iran go to the island and then loaded on ships from there, basically. What else we got here? So the Marines are on their way. The 82nd Airborne has been activated, but I don't think they're going to the Middle East. I think they're going to Cuba. I really do. The CIA is down there right now, poking the bears and paying people to start shit. If anybody's seen any local news in Florida or anywhere else, the what did I do with them? I don't know. Cubans, the Cuban people, are in the dark. They have no lights. They have no gas, oil, nothing, because we've been there for 2 months now, doing a blockade of any shipments of anything energy related. So that's gone. Didn't we put stranglehold on? Yeah, 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, maybe even a little bit longer. What happened was we went to Venezuela and some of the ships broke off and surrounded Cuba to do a blockade. So about when all that started, the battle of it, not the sit and wait part. But so yeah, we've had them surrounded. Nothing's in or out. There's been fires reported set by locals. And as of what I saw last night, thousands upon thousands hit the street and they want government change. They want rights. They want this. They want that. Like I said, the CIA's down there paying people. Now, for those of you old enough to remember, Castro, you know how he got his job? We put him there. The CIA had all that planned out. The president at the time, I'm missing something, decided that was the way to go. And yeah, that worked out real well. And, that's something they've been talking about, especially in your big media news, that every time we've done a regime change, it hasn't worked out well. And that's one of the examples. Because as soon as we put him in there, it wasn't months later where, here we got the bad pigs. Or not months, but a few years. Hell, I don't remember how all that went. But yeah, it's crazy shit going on out there, man. And then here, they've activated any Muslim that's been sent here or brainwashed into America bad, Muslim good thing, So all you guys in big cities, be on a swivel, man. Stay away from large crowds, large venues. For those of you who love music and shit like that, I wouldn't go to a concert of my life depending on it right now in any city. China's big time. Yeah, well, they're going to flex too. But see, this is why Trump did what he did. Instead of sitting there fighting back and forth, arguing and sending our bombers over to show force and sending our ships over, which they do periodically. They just pop out of nowhere by China. Hey, we're here. Go ahead and mess with Taiwan. We're right here. That's what we've been doing for a couple years now. And so Trump's like, okay, instead of talking, let's try this. We'll cut you all off. Anybody that knows anything about war, the first thing you need is fuel. You can't fly a plane. You can't drive a tank. You can't anything. Can't get food, ammunition in the front line without fuel. So now that 2/3 of it shut off, China's panicking. Yeah, they can get a little bit from Russia if they can figure out a way to get it there, because every shipment that Russia tries to send anywhere, one of us snag it, take the ship, take the oil. We've taken like 8, 9, 10 ships. Hell, the last count I think I had on this show was, I think it was up in the double digits. Now, yes, they're flagged under different countries, but it's still a Russian-owned, operated ship. They just flag it under a different country to throw us off. And of course, we know better. We know whose ship it is. There's video, film logs of these ships been coming out in and out ports for tens of years. So, yeah, we keep you think that wasn't provocation enough to start with Russia, which I don't know what, they're kind of quiet right now. And there also is reports of a coup attempt in Russia. One of the generals, I think he was. I tried to write all this down before this started, and I ran out of time. So you'll have to forgive me on this show. Maybe next show I can be more in line and professional about it. But hey, Jason, what's going on, brother? Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, y'all can do what you want with that. I mean, I appreciate it when you hit it. But as far as, going anywhere with this channel, this isn't really what I'm trying to do here. It's more or less just getting the information out to you guys like a PSA. I stated that if we hit 300, I'm at 243 or something last check. If we hit 300, I'd give away a chest rig pack with a knife, radio, and all that. But, other than that, I really don't care where the numbers go. I don't want monetized or anything because as I'm finding out with Barbie's channel, it really ain't worth it. Hey, what's up, David? Every day we wake up, there's less and less money in our account. There's more and more people adding money to the account. So I don't know how the hell that's happening. Everybody we talk to says, oh, you got to wait till your payment period comes up. Then it comes, and I'm like, then I got a thing back from them. They're going to take 24% in taxes after they're 1/3. So that's 54% of it gone right there. So it really ain't worth it. If you're trying to do this for money, which we're not, we're doing it for fun. Hey, Blue, what's going on, brother? So enough of that shit. Yeah, Cuba, I know we're kind of tied up right now, or maybe that's even where that National Guard unit's going. But I have a feeling the 82nd Airborne, that's where they're going to head. Unless the Marines hit the beach, like we did in the old days. Marines hit the beach, and then the 82nd Airborne jumps in from behind. Now, that would be the only option I see right now as far as 82nd Airborne goes. The only problem with Iran, everything's wide open. So I'm sure it's going to be a night drop. And they'll be covered by air. I'm sure a bunch of A-10s and some other defensive aircraft will be in the air. But we still don't know where they're going to go. Nothing's been said or leading towards a direction of where they're going to go. I take that back. They probably aren't going to Cuba because you could pretty much just walk into Cuba right now. They don't really have any defense. I think actually a couple SEAL teams could probably take that place over in a day. So maybe they are going to the Middle East. I might have to pull that comment back. Now I think about it more. I haven't got any new intel from over there, from anybody that's over there, other than we're getting bombed every night from Iran. I got a guy in Israel. He's trying to make knives, and he's getting half a lick in and got to go run to a shelter about every hour and a half. But yeah, we're heading for something that's going to be, this isn't going to be Venezuela. This is going to get really, really ugly here soon. It's going to be one of them wars too, where you don't know who to trust because your allies on the other side of the strait will be doing some shady shit as well. There's even talk now the three F-15s that they dropped a couple weeks ago was intentional by a radical jihadist. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. And there's been some other sabotage shit going on at our bases that are supposed to be on friendly ground. And as you all seen in Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Desert Eagle, how many desert wars we were in, Afghanistan, they hire these interpreters to follow them around. And like 1 out of 5 ends up turning around and shooting the guys he's supposed to be interpreting for, So it's going to be one of them things because they're so uneducated, generally speaking, that it's real easy to brainwash these guys. How much common sense do you have not to put on an explosive vest scream all and then run into a crowd. I mean, if somebody asked me, I mean, you do it yourself, dude. I mean, these guys are happy to do it. Yeah, you can argue the 75 virgin thing or 4 virgins, whatever it is, but it never states whether it's men or women you're going to end up with. So good luck on that one. I don't know. It's going to be rough for our boys. And now that I've got to the point in this where I wanted to get, a headlining news channel stated the other night that Congress enacted. See, it used to be when you turned 18, you had to go to your post office within 6 months or a year, depending on what state you lived in, I think. No, it was federal, so it'd be all states. But anyway, you had to register for the draft, or you were not eligible for any federal funding for college, any of that stuff. Was the way they were doing it. Which, after I got out of the military, I actually got a letter to go sign up for the draft, which I thought was funny. You can't brainwash a guy who can't hear. What? Can't brainwash a guy who can't hear or spit. Yeah, well, yeah, very true. Although there is visuals. Look at Russia. They use a lot of visuals in their propaganda. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So they said that Congress the other day enacted a policy or a rule that it was going to be mandatory. Not mandatory. They were going to do it themselves. Sorry. They were just going to enact a rule to where as soon as you turn 18, and apparently through Social Security, I guess, they're going to get your name and shit through that way, that you will automatically go into a pool. You ain't got a choice. So I looked it up. Actually, that happened in 1984 or 2004. Sorry, I'm stuck back in the old days. 2004, July of 2004 is when they enacted that, and I didn't hear shit about that. I thought it was still back in the old ways, and so did a lot of other people that I talked to the last couple of days about it. So, with that said, anybody 18 to 26 is now enrolled in the draft, whether you like to or not. And there also has been talk about the draft. And the only thing the little blonde girl that speaks for Trump would say, Trump has toyed with the idea, but as at this point, hasn't said anything. That tells me right there that we're in for a long one. And we're in for a serious one. Because what I think is going to happen is we're going to get hit from the east with China, the north from Russia. And Trump's already asking everybody for help. I just watched him before I come on here, a statement about that. He said a lot of countries were in for it. They were glad he asked, and they're on their way as soon as they get ready. And he said a couple other countries are kind of hem-hawing about it, but they're going to do it. And there's a couple countries that just don't want to do it. He goes, you know what? We've spent billions and billions and billions of dollars the last 60 years protecting them since NATO started. And now they don't want to help us. So, yeah, that's where that's going. Of course, we all knew that. I used to just mail you the paper to sign and turn in. Yeah, I used to do that. Yeah, I got mine. I'm signed up. I'd actually go. I would. If they called me tomorrow and said, hey, we're going to evacuate you or whatever they do. And you want to come run a range, train troops? Oh, yeah. I don't need special powers or anything to sit in a range tower and control a range or, I don't know, teach guys how to shoot, teach guys about their weapon. I'm qualified in repair and whatever classified. I was a light weapons expert. Okay. Light to medium. Actually, not light weapons, medium weapons. Medium weapons to light. Because I was an M60 machine gunner for a long time. And then with my background in gunsmithing with my dad, I also had to check weapons and stuff a lot. So I'm pretty much anything below a 50 cal, 50s and down, was my specialty. Well, I got good health benefits. I'm not bitching in the health benefit part. Um, but I just need to do something. You know what I mean? Somebody said it really good the other day. Oh, dude from T-Tel. Back to the 70s again, Bob. K-Tel was a company that used to come on TV all the time and try to sell you shit. Anyway, Tim said that as soon as this war started, he got a Woody. Well, that's with all military guys. I mean, when action happens, we kind of get antsy, we get blood pressure goes up, and we start pacing the floor and trying to figure out what we could do for the cause. And this is kind of my donation to it, as far as I can do. I mean, I'll help anybody out that needs help as far as anything goes with survival, weapons, whatever. All you gotta do is message me, and I'll answer any question you got. But yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, and you know, I started this war room. Oh, geez, on Facebook. Probably 6 months prior to the actual invasion of Ukraine. So, however long that's been, 4, 8, or no, 4, 5, 6 years ago, anyway. I'll have to look. I haven't looked in a while how long it's been up. No, I meant it would get into a good. Oh, well, yeah. I'm not in bad shape. Like I said, I walk everywhere I go. I just have issues. I got to get this vein or artery fixed in my right leg. They've canceled, and then I had to cancel once, so I got to get that done. My back really, and legs, hips actually, really limit me to what I can do that way, but my walking's not bad, and I throw a pack on everywhere I go. I don't leave this house without a pack. And a lot of times, because that's what I use to get my groceries back, you would be surprised what I can fit in this little backpack. I can fit a gallon of milk, 3 pounds of hamburgers, 4 packs of hot dogs, 2 packs of chicken, and some odds and ends just in the backpack alone. And then I either carry the breads and light stuff in my hands, or I hang them off the handlebars of my bike if I ride the bike. Hip pack, yeah. Yep. But right when all this started, that's when I started to recently. And I was losing weight like a bandit and couldn't figure out why. We still can't figure out why. But it seemed to level off at 178. So we'll see what happens. My doctors can't find nothing. I mean, other than what's already wrong with me, they can't find nothing that would make me lose almost 100 pounds within 11 months. So we have I don't know. Maybe it's one of the medications I'm taking, because like that one medication Barb was taking, she was on it for weight loss, but it was actually for something else originally. And then they found out later it makes people just generally lose weight. All that walking with food making you lose weight. Yeah, but this was kind of before all that. I just started the real heavy rucking and walking when I hit about 200 pounds. Other than that, I'd jump on the bike and I don't ride the bike enough to say, well, that was the thing. I ride the bike, where I got to ride the bike to is like 2 blocks away, and I might do it once a week. So, it's not like I'm doing a mountain climb or anything like that. So who knows? Maybe it's just my diet, who knows? Doctors were scared to death though. I mean, one day I came in, I'm 240, 250. I see him 6-8 months later, and he's like, "Oh, are you working out at the gym?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "How'd you do?" I said, "I don't know. That's why I'm here." "Oh shit," he says. "Yeah, you lost a lot of weight real quick." So I don't know. I guess I'll find out in the long run. But this eye thing's what's really pissing me off, because this is my shooting eye. I don't care about the left eye. Just the other day, it started doing that flashy shit in my right eye. That's how the left eye started. And they have no answers for me. When I went in there, some of you have heard the story. When I went in there, they freaked out. And they brought all these people in. And I'm like, oh shit, am I going to die? I mean, we got 7 people hovering over you just because one person ran out the room. That's what she did too. She put that thing in my eye to look around. And she's looking and she's looking. I don't think she even asked me anything. And she just kind of like dropped it on the metal tray and ran out the door. I'm like, what the hell? All of a sudden, 7 people come running back in the room. I don't know what this shit's going on. And then the head doctor, he's looking. He goes, okay, we got a problem. I said, what? He goes, I don't know yet. Hold on. So he goes and sends me for a couple tests, which took like 2 hours. Shot me up with some blue dye. The woman missed my vein, blew up my vein. Oh, it hurt. Oh my God, did that hurt? Felt like somebody just taking a flat head screwdriver, just grinding it into my arm where she was poking me. But anyway, then they had to take a bunch of pictures of my eye while the dye went through, and they found 3 clots in my blood veins in my eye. And the black part of my eye is not round anymore. It looks like a fried egg. This is all directions. And every vein, instead of being nice and smooth and curvy, is all lightning bolts, all jaggedy and messed up looking. And he said to look me right in the eye, he says, the only people this happens to is people that are diabetics. And you're not a diabetic. He says, so we don't know what to tell you. And now this eye's doing it. Now, right now, it's just messing with me like it started with the other eye. It took about 6 to 8 months till I finally got to the point to where I couldn't really see shit. It was like looking underwater, basically. To describe it perfectly, it's like opening your eyes underwater. Not salt water, regular water. I hope I don't lose my right eye. I'm going to be really a mad, evil person if that happens. Phlebotomist. Oh, Dean, you are here. Okay. Sorry, buddy. I've been blabbing and blabbing and blabbing. I told you last night to come on in. We got some shit to talk about. And I can't see that one, David, until one moves up because that freaking heart's in the way. I'm down to 325 in 5 months. Sweet, Jason. No, I mean, you can get in good physical shape. Yeah, well, I'm working on that myself anyway. I got pretty good upper body strength. I ain't got no problems there. I just got to get the lower half to catch up with the rest. I don't know what. I can't have an operation. I need 3 surgeries on my lower back, 1 on my neck to fix the damage that's there now. But they can't operate on me because I only have 1 lung. Basically, I have 1 lung. 1 1/3, if you want to get technical. I got pneumonia, it got infected, and it literally took the bottom lobe of my right lung and sucked it all up and made it look like an old lady's toe, if that visual helps any. But yeah. And they said if I'd have waited a day or 2 more, I wouldn't have never went to the hospital because it was going to my heart, the infection. I just thought I was sick. So if you guys start having weird shit, especially in your chest area, get to a freaking doctor. It's like the stroke I had. I just thought it was something weird. Like I'll sleep it off. Don't worry about it. My whole left side of my body was like one big cramp. And then all of a sudden my lips started, the 3rd day, my lips started going weird on the left side. And then I started talking funny. And I'm like, I'm going to the doctors. I got the hospital. Yeah, I got fucking shit for that one. But luckily, they caught everything in time. I've had 1 blood clot go through my heart, or a clot of something go through my heart. It gave me a small heart attack. So I think now that I've got all that shit out the way, I should be all right. Because if that shit didn't kill me, I'm pretty sure nothing else should at the moment. You need to lose 60 pounds. Was 305. Now, there you go. Oh, yeah. You need to lose 50 or 60 more pounds? At 183? Or am I reading that wrong? I've been here for a minute. Okay. Sorry, Dean. I got to babbling. I'm looking at fusion for my. Okay. Yeah, I got spinal stenosis pretty damn bad too, which is basically a disease, I guess, that chokes your spinal column. For anybody that doesn't know what that is, I didn't know what they do for that. Because we never talked about it because I can't have any operations unless it's life and death only. Which is this, and to not make matters worse in the conversation, but my mother, at 63 years old, had a rotator cuff problem. And one of these young doctors talked her into getting it operated on. It's a real simple operation. We do this. The only thing is, nobody ever asked her pulmonary doctor about all this. Because she's got the same problems I got, except for the infection part of the lung. She had both lungs, but she had COPD really bad. She had asthma really bad. And when it comes to that, yeah, don't life and death only. Sure shit. They operated. She got a lung infection. Last day I seen my mother, or talked to my mother. I didn't even get to see her. I talked to her on the phone when she called me and told me she was in the hospital with an infection, but they could fix it, and they didn't fix it. And she was in the best hospital in Western Pennsylvania at the time. Unfortunately, my sisters, who live up there still, dropped the ball on a lot of shit, because if I'd have been there, somehow they would have got sued and make sure they never practice fucking medicine again. You don't give people with stage 3 lung problems a simple operation, period. It's because they got to stuff all, they tell you straight up in any you guys ever done operation, they tell you straight up at first, we got to throw shit down your neck. You could get an infection from it. 50-50 chance is what they told me. And, that's when my pulmonologist put a stop to everything and called every one of my doctors and said, you will not send him for an operation unless he's dying. So, no operations for Bob or Rolf. But, yeah. So anyway, back to the real shit we're talking about here. Well, I got time left. I got 15 minutes. All right. Let me think. We got another carrier group going over. Last night I looked at the flight tracker, and something heavy went down last night because there was 23 outgoing tankers, refuelers, KC-130s, and about half of that coming back in. So we did something big last night, or, well, yeah, it was our night, their morning. I haven't been able to fish around enough yet to see any newer videos that's come out of there to see what has happened. And I've seen a lot of AI stuff, guys. If any of you guys that are on TikTok or Scoops or that other weird one just has a bunch of little short videos, don't believe 99.9% of the shit you're seeing coming out of any war right now. It's all AI generated. A lot of it I've seen before. I'm like, no, that's not Iran. That shit happened over there or this country or 20 years ago, And then they slide in some palm trees or some shit. Yeah, it's really made it rough on my end to weed through out of all the AI bullshit right now. And another thing they're doing too is they'll put like, let's just say Fox. They'll put Fox up in their thumbnail, and you think it's Fox, and then you go to look at the damn report, and you're like, no, why would Fox be reporting on that? That ain't true. And then you look down at the bottom, and it's like Hussein, Alabama, or some shit that's actually posting the video. That's what pisses me off. I waste time thinking I got a hold of something, and then I look down to who sent it in, and it's a bunch of bullshit. I was told 65% chance by Dr. becoming paralyzed. Yeah, I know, David. That's what they told me. That's exactly what they even ordered me a wheelchair. I refuse to get in it. I will not do it. I will not do it. The day I get in a wheelchair is the day they're going to wheel me out of this house. That'll be the day I get in that wheelchair. Now, at first, I kind of joked around. I set up a stereo system on it with speakers and tactical gear and shit. But I was like, I ain't doing it. Kids played around with it for a while in the basement. Well, the family room. It's not really a basement. And then I folded it up and put it away. And that's where it's sat now for probably 4 years, 5 years. Yeah, because he's like, well, we can give you pain meds. And I says, what happens when the pain meds start working? He goes, well, I guess you're in the wheelchair. He goes, this is going to keep getting worse. I mean, it's at the point now after I walk around the house half a day, I usually crawl upstairs, lay down for an hour or two. 2 reasons. One, it pains a little less when I stretch out. And the other reason is I don't want to be around nobody because I don't want to say something or do something I'm going to regret the next day because I'm in so much pain that I do stupid shit when I'm in pain. So, with that said, Henry G, how's your doctor appointment go, brother? Just give me a thumbs up. That's all I want to see from you. So I hope you guys that were there enjoyed Barbie's live last night. I had fun. Next week's going to be a big banger. I'm a little late today. As I've told you about before I even started this live, I'm way behind. We should have a video out no later than 6 o'clock. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, we put videos out on Barbie's channel of knives. And I've got 5, 6, 7 knives in my possession I got to do videos on. So I got to get them knocked out. And when I do these videos, I'm going to do them to where I'm going to show you what they are, where they're from. And every knife I'm going to show you from here on out is going to be a auction knife for next Sunday. So they'll be eligible to be bid on. And every knife, I've inspected every knife, even the 2 that came right straight from Amazon. I've inspected. I can't find even a speck of nothing on any of them. So these are pristine. Other than the 2 that came brand new, every knife is like brand new. I'll do it if I end up in a chair. I'll be a permanent member of the Cripple Crew. That's one way of looking at it. Well, I'm already a member of the Cripple Crew, but hell, I remember when DVD started. He's a funny little dude. One of these days, we'll see each other at the Blade Show. I want to see what the little critter looks like. Of course, I think he's a little guy. Now, some people have seen him. He did go to Blade Show West last year, I think. So some people know what he looks like, but he didn't put any pictures up himself. I'll get him. Actually, that's why Barbie's got her own channel, because of DVD. Because at the time, there was no females really doing anything. They had MPG. Who else was doing it? Maybe that was it. As far as, under 100,000. I mean, yeah, you got Melissa, but, Melissa's more of a walking billboard than an actual knife reviewer. Kane, what's going on, brother? Hope you're well. Wyoming? Really? Oh, sorry. Shit. I apologize. And there was Wyoming. She had her channel. There was 3 of you, wasn't there? I mean, I know Stacy's, but she don't have a channel. She has a Discord. There was 3 of you, if I remember right. Can't think of the 3rd one. What you doing, Wyoming? you know, when you get old, you can't remember everything. Hell, you can put a knife in front of me right now. I'll go walk away to get a drink of water and come back and forget what knife it is. That's one thing you don't look forward to when y'all get old, man, or start getting old. I'm not old yet, but I'm starting to get there. I'm over 60 now, so I guess you're on the way. Man, my memory sucks. Short-term memory is null. I can remember everything from years ago. Just can't remember anything from 10 minutes ago or 2 hours ago or yesterday morning. I mean, literally. I mean, you have your brain farts now and then. That's just common. It's okay, Ralph. No, I feel bad. I do. I really do feel bad. Christ, I watch the channel all the time. But anyway, DVD talked Barbie into doing it. I can't remember how the conversation came up, to be honest. But that was about a year and a half ago. And I was like, you know what? Might not be a bad idea. I'll help you do what's the word I'm looking for? The technical aspect of the knife reviews. And you just look pretty and show knives. See what happens. And then here we are, a year and a half later almost. Yeah, it's fun, but it's a lot of work. Not for her, but me. No, I like it. I finally, it's cool that she found something she likes to do. She's never really had a hobby, other than doing her nails. She used to go hunting with me, but she got the Bambi effect one day when we were out hunting furs. Now, back in the day, they used to pay good money for fur. Sorry, all you animal activists, apologies, but whatever. That's the way I was brought up. That's the way I live my life. Anyway, we was out hunting furs one day. Got into a raccoon. I got him out of the tree. He hit the ground. She come around the other side. She took care of the rest. And from that day on, it broke her heart. And that was it. So no more hunting for Barbie. Which I haven't really hunted either. So I've hunted a lot from the time I was 12 years old, legal age to hunt. And I've put down many of animals, and they've always, even the fur, has been either used or sold. And the only parts of any of my animal that go to waste is the bones. And I give them to the crows and the porcupines, because a porcupine's favorite food is deer antlers and bones. Yeah, it is. It is fun to watch. And it's also kind of really cool being on this side, too. We don't do socially much stuff anymore because we were really sociable people. I mean, we went to the bars 3 times a week, not to really drink, but to play pool tournaments, dart tournaments. There was always some kind of festival going on, or I was part of a softball team for that bar, like the shit was in the 70s and 80s. And about mid to late 90s, it all just kind of went away, Just been pretty much homebodies ever since then. Now we have our summer barbecues, little gatherings there. But that's about socially all we do as far as real life gatherings. That's all we do anymore. We'll have we'll have our July, Labor Day, Memorial Day, birthdays. Barb's birthday's in the middle of summer. We have a big shindig for that. And other than that, that's about all the social we get. So, pretty much we're just sitting here looking at each other's face the rest of the time. And this kind of took away from that boredom. And I'm not afraid of a camera one bit, unfortunately. I always end up making a fool out of myself. But people thinks it's funny, so whatever, we'll roll with it. Yeah, it keeps me. I like the channel, and I was gonna do it like a little report for an hour, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But it just nothing was happening fast enough to require them 2 days because I can pretty much do it all in 30 minutes. I mean, like what I've reported today. I think I only have one more thing left. Got 3 4 minutes here to go. So, what was that? That was something I wanted to touch on again. Yeah, this draft thing. I haven't heard about it. And like I said, they reported on it mid last week. And I'm thinking it just happened. And here I go look, and they did it behind everybody's back. So anybody 18 to 26, my suggestion to you is if you smoke, cut back. And if you're able, start walking 1 hour a night. At least 1 hour a night. And once you get comfortable doing that, throw a backpack on, put a little weight in and start walking an hour again. It will help you immensely when you get to basic training against your will. And like I said earlier, they already talked about it out in the open just the other day. See, that's what caught me off guard. Here, I saw that report about now you don't even have to register. They're going to automatically do it for you. And then, of course, somebody comes out of the woodwork 2 days later and talks to Trump's chief news lady there. I keep forgetting her name, Lovett, whatever the hell her name is. And a reporter asked her, "Are you guys starting to draft because of blah, blah, blah?" Well, there's been talk, but nothing on the table yet. So that's what we got. Right there tells you, something's up. Oh, I know what I'm going to tell you guys now. My last and final thought. I suggest everybody, and I mean everybody. Let me take it off. No, not my clothes. Get you one of these. Barbie won this off Battle Box. Now, I've been aware of these for a few years. This right here is a bracelet, a stretchy bracelet, pretty good stretchy bracelet. This right here is a glass breaker. You hold it like this. Put it up against the window, you pull it back, snap. And that little bead right there will break your window. Now, some states this may be a bad thing, but depending on where you live, on the other side, anybody tell me what that is? Anybody? Zoe, what's up? Yeah, I started at 4 Wyoming. It's 4 to 5 or a little bit less. Kenman comes on at 5:30, so I can stretch it to 5:30 if it's a big deal. But I try to stay out of everybody's way. Even though I'm not really a knife channel, I still want to stay out because you guys are all knife people. So therefore, I want to, make sure y'all get what you got to get. And I like Kevin. Kevin's cool. Met him down at Blade Show. Had a lot of fun with him. Good dude. Crazy. He's like me. He's nuts, man. He's a really outgoing person. Anybody tell me what that is yet? Anybody? It's 5 o'clock. Nobody? I guess. Hey, brand new. Yeah, there he is. Okay, brand new American got it. I didn't even see it. Sorry, brand new. Yep, it's cuff key. Now, I'm sure they know about this by now. At least most cops probably do. But that's not exactly what it's for. I mean, it is, but it's for to protect yourself in case other things happen, especially women. In these day and age, especially women. A lot of them are getting kidnapped and shipped overseas and shit. Well, there's your out. Right there. On general handcuffs, anyway. So, I think it's pretty cool. I've seen them for a while. BattleBox sells them. So, if you want them, just go to battlebox.com. I don't know the price at the moment. I was going to look it up, but I ran behind. They're not expensive. Or you can just go to Whatnot and sit on BattleBox for a couple hours. You probably win one like she did. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a safety tool. It really is. I've actually been wanting one for a long, and they're adjustable. It's got the slide knot to adjust it. So, like I said, I can run till 5:30, so I'll press on here a little bit. I got a couple questions for the community here. I carry one on me at all times. Ralph, never know. Yeah, you never know. It could be, somebody trying to rob you and handcuffs you to a pole or something. You don't know. Handcuffs are very easily to get a hold of these days. You can order them anywhere. So, yeah, I would really, even if you don't wear it, have it on you somewhere around your belt. Just pocket it. It's a really good idea. Especially the glass breaker, too. Or you hit somebody in the eye with it, that'd really hurt, too. Because I've had that happen with a rubber band, and it hurts. I cut my cornea. I think that's what they called it. You want to talk about pain. I've never experienced pain. Even to this point in my life. My back, that ain't nothing compared to that pain. And that doctor shot that blue shit in there with an eyedropper, and it went away. And I was like, can I have the bottle? He says, no. Because about 8 hours later, it wore off. That was a rough 4 days, man. And instead of, they don't sew your eye, they glue it. So it was kind of weird for a while. Yeah, don't pull a rubber band back. Bad idea. It was one of the big fat ones. I was fucking around in the bar. Sister was up playing pool. She was getting ready to make a winning shot, and I thought I'd be cool and shoot a rubber band at her. That son of a bitch snapped before I let it go, and it come right across my right eye. $20? Oh, wow. I'd have started making these damn things. I was thinking more like 5, 10. Shit. Well, I guess with the key. Yeah, I guess. All right, $20, guys. There's the link. Thank you to Bluminati. The man with the fingers, the man with the keyboard. So what y'all up to today? Anybody got something they'd like to say, report? Anything, what I always ask the community here towards the end is, have you seen any military activity in your area? More flights, ground troops, trains going by with mass equipment, preferably heading east, not west. Because usually when they're heading west, they're usually going to a national training center to be trained for a month. Because I used to be stationed there. And they bring their own equipment when they do that. We were Russians. We had Russian equipment, Russian uniforms, Russian weapons. Now I'm sure it's all Middle East shit. But back then it was Cold War, so it was all about Russians. Actually, the vehicles they used in Red Dawn were borrowed from Fort Irwin. And the Russian stuff. Yeah. And what was nice too, we didn't go by military code. We had a code, general military, but we didn't have to salute no officers, nothing. We were like our own little unit. It was cool as shit, man. And food, oh my God. I got there. Now I know they've had a lot of shit in the news lately about, they always blame it on Pete, but it's not Pete, it's the Pentagon. They take care of order and all that shit. 20,000 pounds of lobster, 500 pounds of steak and all that shit. Yeah. The Army don't get that. The Army gets some steak once in a while. I think steak, you get it like, if you want to call it steak, maybe once a couple weeks on post. Now, out of post, you don't get shit. You're eating MREs or some kind of hydrated shit. But on post, this place, man, oh, wow. You walked up there, and they would ask you what you wanted. It was like to order, right? And you walk down this line, next guy, how do you want this? How do you want this? What do you want on it? Next, I was like, why is this so gourmet around here? Well, the deal is a lot of foreign countries come there. And now this is the main chow hall. They had two other chow halls that were not affiliated with the main base. They were down where all the barracks were and everything. They were just general chow halls. They had a menu. You either ate there or you walked the extra mile to the main chow hall. Depending how lazy you are that day. But man, and then you get in the middle, they had like these oh, what do they call them? They're like a lazy Susan, but not. They're really big. They sit in the middle of the floor, and they have steps, but they're round. And each step had a different fruit on it. And then the next one like that had all nothing but desserts, cheesecakes, and anything you could think of was on these two big carousel things. And like I said, at first I was kind of blown away. I was like, man, because this is the end of my service. This is my last year. And I've never eaten on any base like this. I'm thinking to myself, what the hell, you know? Well, come to find out it's because of all the dignitaries that come there, plus Washington and everything else, because it's such a high profile base for the military. Even the Russians were there. The Russians themselves toured the base. So anybody seen anything? Anything to report? Anything? Maybe a new recruiting station has popped up in your local mall. Maybe some of you guys in the draftable age range has gotten a letter asking you to join. Anything like that? Let me know. I'd like to hear about it. Oh, Rachel, you popped in. I'm sorry. That's twice I've done that now. Oh, 3 times. But Wyoming busted me. How you doing, Rachel? Was you here when I was showing the bracelet, Rachel? So that's unusual. I figured your area would be hopping, Wyoming, because of all the nuclear base and nuclear shit we got out there. You know, that's another thing, too. A lot of people ask themselves, well, if we do go to like big World War III, where's the best place to go? And as much as I hate to say this, the Northwest. His handcuffs went with my uncle. Okay. After Pop stopped being a cop. Okay. Okay. Uncle Bar to say, Beatty Bell. Oh. Wow. Wow, Blue. That sucks. David, I've been seeing the ramp up Redstone. Or yeah, Redstone. Yeah, we were talking about the other day, and I went and looked it up, see exactly where it is because wasn't ringing a bell. Yeah, it's just over the mountain from me. Yeah, I'm getting a lot here too because they're doing training in the mountain as well. A lot of aircraft training for low altitude flying. So I'm seeing a lot of helicopters doing map of the earth, and the fighters as well. Air traffic picked up big time. Hey, Matt. Nothing to report there. Okay. Really, Rachel? I figured you'd see them flights up around where you're at. They usually take the jet fighters up out of the mountains and fly through them and get their training, low altitude flying through mountains. Shit, like they do in England. England has like one mountain range, like one little tiny, and they use it for the canyon for their training. And I mean, all types of airplanes, everything from cargo planes. I haven't seen C-17s and C-5 go through there on some videos. Been a hermit. Yeah, that hermit ain't seen shit. Well, get out there, damn it. And guys, I've noticed prices on tactical stuff is going way up. The radio sets I used to be able to buy 2 for $25 are now $40. That's a pretty good jump. The night vision goggles that I bought for $20, now $35. So get it while you can. I'm telling everybody right now, borrow the money, steal the money, whatever you got to do. Supply up now if you haven't already. Please. Not only that, Rolf Robertson, Arsenal is alert of civilian population. Yeah. Yep, copy that. But anyway, getting back to the middle of the country part. A lot of people think that being like Wyoming, Oklahoma, all them middle northern states that have really nothing, like I think what is it? Montana has 2.5 people per square 100 miles. They think that's the place to go. The only problem is that's where all the nuke shit is, and that's the first place that's going to be taken out. You don't want to move there. Nowhere. No. You don't want to be near any major city. You don't want to be near any military base. And you want to stay away from the winds, which everything pretty much blows west to the east and to the south. So basically, your only real option, if you have time, that's even if you have time, because they're not going to tell you the shit's coming, because that gives you 20 minutes to do whatever the hell you want to do, because they think the world's coming to an end. So they're not going to tell you. Yeah, and gas. Well, the gas prices are up because of what's happening in the Middle East. And when we started this show, we had a little funny story about, a lot of the experts were saying the reason Trump's doing this war, other than Iran being stupid idiots for the last 47 years, which they have been, they have killed people from every country. It's back to the same old shit. If you're not Muslim, you're dead. You're an infidel, and that's just the way it is. The people don't think that. The majority of their people, it's the Muslim mafia. And that's even what they're called. Their own people are calling it a mafia. So they, now that we basically, because of the war and some other things, China ain't getting the other third of their oil. So 2/3 of their oil has been shut off. They're flipping out about it. Trump went and asked them the other day, hey, can you help us out over here? If you want your oil, come on, help us out, open this up. You take care of getting the Iranians up, escorting ships and taking care of the mines that they laid and everything, which just threw a hot bucket of water in China's face is all that did. So, and like I said, they also surrounded the island with their ships now, and they've also, Taiwan, and they also have thousands of flights probing weekly Taiwan's airspace. And they're doing it to send a signal to Trump, is what that's about. Now, for those of you who don't know why they want Taiwan, is because that's where the old government went when the communists took over China. They all fled to Taiwan. So the ruling class in Taiwan are actually enemies of the state of China. And a few other reasons, but they want their industry is what they want. They want their industrial part. And it also extends their limits on their boundaries. Because as you've seen throughout the last 30 years, they've been building their own islands out in international waters and calling it China. So when you invest that kind of money and manpower and everything to build your own island in international waters, you are what's the word I'm looking for? A controlling force. Basically, you don't care what the rest. Basically, a dictator, and you're just trying to be a dick. Neil, hey Neil, what's up, brother? I figured these will be the first top 5. Okay, is that out west, or is that in the east or middle part? That 525. And it didn't take long this time either. It took a week. Actually, it didn't take a week. It took 3 days. I took a picture up here of our gas price, and right behind that sign is our city sign, the city building that they just put up. Thank you, taxpayers. Like we needed one. Digital sign tells you all the upcomings and all. Anyway, at the same time I took the picture, it also threw up the date. So I got date reference in that photo. And 3 days later, yeah, it just took off. What happened to drill? That's what he keeps saying. We're going to do it all here. But see, he don't care. That's what he's saying. Drill here. Of course, now we have to weed through and change a bunch of laws that Biden and them put in while they were in because they shut down all the drilling for environmental reasons. So now we gotta fight Congress for that shit again. I swear to you, the person that thought for 1 minute that two parties was going to make things right. It would be fine if they were actually two parties. And every analyst right now is saying the same thing. The Republican Party is acting like the old Democrats, and the Democrats are acting like the old Republican Party. I quietly don't remember it that way, but I really don't ever remember the Republicans donning African clothes and dressing up like Muslims and taking a knee, which when I saw that, I literally about shit myself and wanted to pull my own heart out of my chest. That was just uncalled for. And if we were any closer to a dictatorship, I personally would have took every one of them sons of bitches out back and put them against the wall. That's just me. You know, it's funny when a party has went out of their way to spit on its own people and support foreign entities. Wow, man. Just freaking wow. I don't do politics. I'm not on either side. I vote for the lesser of the two evils. That's all I can do. No flat land, the foothills of Adirondack Mountains. Yeah, I know where you're at. Yeah, you're good there. Now, where you're at, you should be all right because you're close enough to Canada. They don't want to fuck with Canada. The first wave, from all the intel I've gathered, and even from people that actually used to work in the area we're talking about, the ones that actually push buttons, turn keys, let's put it that way. The first wave is going to be our military and arsenals, our nuclear stuff. Second wave will be to finish off the light military shit and financial. So any city that has anything to do with finance, New York City, Charlotte. Charlotte's a big financial hub. A lot of banking is all down there. Bank of America, stuff like that. They're all there. That's their headquarters. So, and plus Charlotte's got a big over-the-horizon communication center, which for those of you who don't know what that means they have a communication satellite, or not satellite, but system that can talk around the world. Did you know that the Appalachian Mountain Range and the Scottish... Yes, that was all part of that. Yep. Same with the Blue Ridge Mountains. Actually, the southern Blue Ridge Mountains were part of Africa, northern Africa at the time. But yeah, see, the Blue Ridge Mountains, which basically start in Alabama and go all the way up through the, what are they called? The next ones. Appalachians, all the way up to pretty much same mountain range. They're all connected. It's all one line. Actually, if you get on the Appalachian Trail, you were walking that whole same mountain system all the way to Vermont, I think it is, wherever it ends, 1,500 miles later. And there's something, too, that's been pissing me off the last few years. When you think hiking trail, you think pleasant day in the woods, blah, 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 blah. Not here. You walk the Appalachian Trail, you better be armed. They got all kinds of crazies out there now, snagging women, killing people for no reason. Now they got a cult that set up restaurants along the way. I think they got 3 or 4 of them. They did a big documentary on them. I can't remember the name, but they own I just had the damn word in my mouth. Deli. They got good food because my daughter brought back some from up there. But what happens is you go into this deli and they see you, periodically coming in, and these ladies, they dress kind of like not Amish, but what's the other ones out west? Mormons. They kind of dress like the Mormons. The women are women and the men are the men. And they talk people into joining this thing. Oh, there's like this one old guy who's in charge of everything. And he has his way with all the women type of shit, cult shit. So anyway, they got pretty much everything from West Virginia clear down to Alabama because they send their little disciples out on the trail and try to render people into their cult. Yellow Deli, that's what it's called. Look up Yellow Deli and then look for the documentary on that. It'll blow your freaking mind, to be honest. And a lot of the documentary was done just north of here where I live. 3 hours from Canada. Clint, all right. Yeah, I tell you, Southern California, Arizona, and New Mexico would be your safest bet if you have time to get there. Because there's nothing there to be bombed, really. And the winds, once they hit, and the third wave hits, the third wave's the mop up. If they get a third wave off. Now, as it stands right now, they have a few more nukes than we have. And their nukes are set on a dead man switch. So right now, and they activated it. They activated that shit a year ago. And basically what that means is anything that flies towards their country that is a missile, they don't need a guy to push a button. Their computers do it all by themselves. That's scary. And they activated the son of a bitch. And y'all know how well Russian shit works. So cross your fingers, say your prayers. But like I said, if they get the third wave off before we totally destroy their shit, that'd be the safest bet. Because we got a lot of industrial, all the north is covered by industrial cities. They're going to hit every one of them, no problem. Anything industrial, anything military, anything financial, and then anything nuclear, like a nuclear power plant. Yeah, that's gone. They're all targeted. Our mountains are full of people nowadays, thanks to social media. Yeah, I bet. Maybe you wouldn't see people in the back country. Yeah, I know. And a lot of problem with that is too, it also brings in them people that like to live in the woods. And they end up invading your area. We just had a little problem up here. We've had the problem for a while, ever since, even before Biden got in, because of all the immigration. Not just from Mexico. So anybody who's Hispanic, I'm not picking on you. It's from everybody. We have a place up here, it's 8 miles long. It's called Wilson Creek. The road's 8 miles long. And every Saturday, every Sunday, you could it looked like somebody just went that 8 mile road and just dumped garbage all up and down the creek. And this is a really high profile creek for kayakers. It's got big waterfalls and shit in it, and class this and class that for rapids. And, there's people who live up and down this road because it kind of in and out borders a national forest. And then when the hurricane came through, it gave them an excuse to shut it down. And they just reopened it just like a month ago. And people were literally breaking in and jumping the gate or crashing into the gate and trashing the place anyway. And every time I've been there, it's been foreigners, whether they be Muslims, south of the border, north of the border, east, west of the border. I don't know what it is. Let's go to the woods and trash it. I don't understand. I don't get it. Hell, they even brought their own garbage up there and dumped it. Why you say about us Mexicans? I'll say anything, man. I was born a Mexican. I was born in South LA, man. Born and raised. Just using the south of the border as a reference. That's all blue. You know me, man. Wyoming doesn't have the missile silos, but are you sure about that? I think that's wrong. What's it called? Damn it, my phone's dead. My other phone. I'll get back to you on that one though. Maybe you are right. I did like Wyoming when I was there though. Although I got there at the beginning of the gas and oil boom. That was kind of shitty. I feel sorry for anybody who had to deal with them idiots. Yeah, there ain't nothing really worse than people that come into your community. They know they're only there temporarily, and they make all kinds of stack of cash, and you know exactly where it's going to be spent. Drugs and prostitution. Oh, I didn't see the northern part. My bad. That damn heart thing was in the way. The little heart thing in the bottom corner you push to give hearts. I can't get rid of mine. I don't know what it is. What's up, Robbie Shady? What's going on, brother? I got 2 minutes for Dan the Kidman Man comes on, according to the schedule. So with all that, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you immensely for coming in and showing some kind of, need to know basis. A rough brief of what we went over. We're sending another carrier group and ships. Trump's getting some backup to go there. We've activated National Guard troops to go over there. 82nd Airborne's standby. The Marines are on their way. And by their, what is the name of that ship? The Tripoli. 50,000 Marines are on their way. So I'm thinking, as we talk through this, I'm thinking, Marines will rush the beach like they're supposed to do, and the 82nd Airborne will probably now drop in the back, because I thought they were going to Cuba, but the more I thought about it, they probably are going to go in the backside. So with that going, China's pissed. We took 2/3 of their oil, and then Trump turned around and asked them for help if they want their oil. So they're pissed, and they're showing force over in Taiwan because of it. Lakeside, what's going on, brother? Clint, Blue, Wyoming, you just got here. 4 o'clock, guys. 4 o'clock every Monday. Rain, snow, or shine, I will be here. I'll give you all a minute to say that while I finish off what else I was saying. Let's see. Anything really important? Yes, please get your supplies, get your ammo. Because as you can see by fuel prices, that ain't going down anytime soon either, by the way, even though they released billions of gallons from the reserve, but they're not going to release that much because they're going to need it for what's to come. Can't think of anything else right now. If your internet's been acting weird, or a certain app or a certain channel, it's not their fault. Right now, I was going to bring this up earlier. We are being hacked at a rate that is so fast by the Middle East, the Russians, the Chinese, that the reason you're seeing fluctuations in your service is because they literally have to shut down parts of it to clean the viruses out and then shut the next part down. You understand the domino effect that's going on here? So that's why you're going to have a lot of interruptions on your internet service. So don't go blaming your company or anything else. There's nothing they can do. Pretty much the government's in control of all that. And we are getting hacked by the second. $3.60 a gallon a couple days ago. Okay. We're at right around $3.66 last I looked, but I don't drive, so. And I was going to go get another picture to go along with the other pictures that I had, and I just ain't been out here yet. So, Ralph, I didn't say any of this on. I can't see because of the heart. Rolf, I didn't say any of this on Fox. Oh, Fox News. No, they're not going to either. That's why I'm here. All right, guys. For those of you going to Kenman or have already went to Kenman, carry on. Have a fine day. If anything major happens, I will post a post and then I will go live. And if not, See you next Monday, and y'all take care. Appreciate every one of you. Love y'all, man. Peace.